Here we go. It's been a while. It has been a bloody long time since I've done this. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. It's been seven days. Let me do it correctly instead of swearing at you here. 7 days since we last uploaded. It's been the international break. I've been watching a few of the internationals, following what the Chelsea boys are up to. And of course, we've got news today. Nothing crazy's been happening in my life, really. I mean, I say that. I went on a little trip up the coast to a place called Ras Al Khaimah in the UAE. And then I flew to Bangkok for the second week of the international break because Georgie and I absolutely love Thailand and Thai food. So that's what I've been up to. I'm also waiting right now to move into our long-term place in Dubai. There's so many things that you've got to like dot the I's, cross the T's when you move to the UAE. That's all I'm going to say for now, but it's exciting. We've got a new place and there'll be a studio there that I'm going to be setting up just for me. And then of course, shoot out, all of that stuff with Eunice is going on too. So that's my update. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me know how you're doing in the comments below. It has been the best time, I think, to take a break from making Chelsea videos. Just a YouTube break in general. I've not really looked at anyone else's videos. I've not really checked the channel, not checked anything. I've taken it as like a proper time to just enjoy life and recharge, because from now, obviously we've got the November internationals as well, but from now until January, I think we get a great idea about where Chelsea are going to be at throughout the course of this season. The start that we've had, bloody mental to be quite honest, and that Liverpool win, I don't know about you lot, but that Liverpool win is just still living in my head. I think it was an iconic moment. I think we'll look back on the way that we won that game and we will talk about that win for a long time. And I just hope that it's a springboard moving into these October fixtures. So let's begin here with the first news story of the day. And it is regarding the man that scored goal number 1 in that match at the Bridge against Liverpool, Moises Caicedo. Caicedo has separated from his agent and will no longer be represented by Ali Barat of Epic. Caicedo has now appointed people he can trust, and this is what he posted to his Instagram account. Now, as I said, I've not been checking up on other people's opinions. I've not watched anyone else's to get their view of how they feel about this story. But Caicedo, Ali Barat, is considered a super agent in footballing terms, right? When you want to get a deal done, when you want to try and squeeze as much money as possible out, these are the kind of guys that you want fight in your corner. When Caicedo says here that he wants to work directly with people that he trusts, maybe this has got something to do with the contract talks that were coming out regarding Caicedo at Chelsea earlier in the summer. Now, there's two different ways that you could look about this one. Maybe Ali Barat wasn't getting the best value deal out of Chelsea, which is why Caicedo's not signed a new contract. When you've got a super agent like Ali Barat and you work directly with him, if you're trying to get a move away, he is going to be able to go and find that for you. But Caicedo is already on a long-term Chelsea deal. So my thoughts behind this, and this is pure speculation, this is just my opinion, this is what I think might have happened. I reckon Ali Barat is probably in Caicedo's ear thinking, look at the way you're going right now, you see? There's a big money move for you somewhere. Big sign-on bonus, huge wages without incentivised wages and stuff at Chelsea. Why don't you make that move instead of getting Caicedo that new deal at Chelsea? Pure speculation, might be waffling, might have made this one up. Probably should have done a bit more research beforehand. But at the moment, this is what we know. Caicedo no longer working with Ali Barat, and he's going to work closer with people that he trusts, which insinuates there's been mistrust or misguidance or something isn't quite working out the way that Caicedo wants it to. I'll say this about Caicedo. I can talk in a positive way about this player forever. I think Caicedo could end up going down as one of the best midfielders we've had at Chelsea. And I know that's a huge, huge statement to make, but if he stays for another 5, 6, 7 years, there's no reason why Caicedo will not be considered, in my opinion, in that category of player. I think he's exceptional. I think he can do everything. Scores the occasional wonder goal, and it's becoming more frequent. Wins the tackle, seems to have robotic legs that just, he doesn't get hurt, even though he's in those crunch moments. We've heard the noise of some of the tackles, even through the flipping television screen. And he gets up and he keeps going. He's playing through tiredness. He's not been 100% fit, but the levels that Moises Caicedo reaches and continues to surpass week on week, what I thought was good by his standards, he gets better. The average, but forget like ratings out of 10 and all of that stuff, because you can only get a 10 out of 10, right? The average Caicedo performance is growing every single month. The man is fantastic. And look, you guys know I love a bit of hyperbole. I love a good exaggeration. Maybe sometimes I need to be a bit more rational, all right? Something I've been thinking about during my break on this international break. But screw it, all right? First story of the day, Caicedo is the man. Caicedo is the bomb. And I think he's probably the best player that we have got right now at Chelsea Football Club. So hopefully all of this stuff regarding his agent isn't anything about he wants a better agent to get a better move away. I don't see any reason why Caicedo would want to leave. He's coming out and talking about wanting to be a legend at Chelsea. Everything that obviously fans want to hear. But when you're playing that great of football right now, you're clearly backed by the manager, you're adored by the fan base, you're doing it in the Premier League, Caicedo ain't going to want to go anywhere, man. That being said, I do think that there will be stories that will come out regarding when a player's that good. The Real Madrids are going to want him. The Barcelona's are going to want him. Everyone's going to want him. PSG are going to want him. Bayern are going to want him. Man United will probably want him. You ain't getting him. But Caicedo is still, for me, the best player this season so far at Chelsea by a long way. So let's move into the next story. Chelsea are interested in signing, this is a name I thought we got rid of years ago, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic as a free agent when his contract expires at Al Hilal in 2026. We are going to see, in my opinion, a lot of stories about Chelsea and free agents. When we think about that UEFA settlement, we are going to need to keep selling. A lot of people recently have been coming out and talking about this. I think The Athletic have done a piece on it as well, talking about how because of Chelsea's UEFA settlement, we can only have, I think it's 20 million net spend per year. Right now, we have just sold a lot of assets that were unwanted, semi-high value, that we've actually been able to therefore go out and spend all of that money last summer. Chelsea moving forward, we are going to be looking for bargains more than ever before. Now, of course, a lot of people might be upset by this. A lot of people think, it's Chelsea, not serious club anymore, right? Going to hear that a little bit, aren't we? Soon as we lose a game or two. But the thing is, with the squad that we've built already, the squad that we've got, and the trajectory of some of these players, even the ones that are still to come in. See Giovanni Quenda yesterday? Absolute wonder goal again for the Portugal under-21s. That kid is legit. He's the real deal. You got Dastan Satpayev, the kid from Kazakhstan, who, at first it all looked like a bit of a joke, didn't it? But the man is playing Champions League football against Real Madrid already, if you didn't know. And as much as he might not have scored, and Kairat Almaty got battered by Real Madrid, he's still already playing on a big stage. People are calling him the Aguero regen, all right? I've seen him play a fair amount. I'm keeping a close eye on him. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, as an experienced anchor kind of player in the midfield, this isn't the only kind of free agent signing I think we're going to see Chelsea linked with. Of course, Mark Guehi is a story that will just keep recycling every single week now almost until the January transfer window, because Mark Guehi is probably the best free agent that could be available for the start of next season from Crystal Palace. So a lot of people are thinking, well, Liverpool will just go back in there, swoop him up, pick up where they left off. Chelsea will obviously be in that conversation. Bayern Munich are also in that conversation. And there's loads of players that could well be leaving next summer on a free. And I think Chelsea, Milinkovic-Savic, maybe he's past it. I think when you go to Saudi, at this point, is the league actually good or that good to be considered on a par with any of the top European leagues? I struggle still to see that personally. So I would want Chelsea, obviously, if I had my preference, to be signing players that are playing at that top level week in, week out. Not to say the Saudi League is a bad league, it certainly isn't. But I'm not sure entirely about that one. But let's move into the next story. Chelsea and Brighton are keeping close tabs on Lazio defender Mario Gila. We saw this link and talk a little bit in the summer as well. I do think Chelsea will end up going back in the market for a centre-back. Look, I would love, more than anything, for Benoit Badiashile, the way he played against Liverpool, have that as the standard, please. Josh Achampong, still think he's absolutely class. Made a couple of mistakes, not against Liverpool, but before that, and it's like, well, is he good? Well, yes, he is really good. Wesley Fofana, I think Fofana and Badiashile, if we can keep those two fit, that could change Chelsea's season, you know, because we know we've not got Levi Colwill. We've got to just get that out of our heads now until the end of the season, moving into next year. But if those two can keep that standard and stay fit, then I think that they could do very well for us this season. But I think we're going to see Chelsea linked to quite a few more centre-backs over the coming months. Besiktas management have identified Chelsea defender Axel Disasi as their primary target in January. Well, are we going to see Axel Disasi leave? I mean, when it comes to your bomb squad, your Sterlings, your Disasis, I mean, they had chances to go. Like, there were moments in the summer where they could have gone somewhere else, but they didn't want to. They weren't interested. Does it get to a point, right, where you're sat there for months and maybe like turning up for training is all right in August, September, even though you're by yourself, right, at Cobham, maybe it's all right. Maybe it's just fun because the weather's okay. Soon as we're now talking about 14, 13 and down into the single digits, right, mate? I know it gets freezing in Turkey too, but do you really want to be a footballer in the middle of his career, Disasi, training by yourself in the freezing cold at Cobham when you know you're not going to play no matter what madness you're doing on the training pitch? Mate, go to Istanbul. It's a wonderful city. It's a wonderful place. The tea is magnificent. The food is delectable. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to go. Do it. Let's talk a little bit now about Adam Wharton. Obviously, we started the video talking about Moises Caicedo. I think the noise next summer is more likely to be potentially around Enzo Fernandez. Not saying that's what I want to happen. I think it could well be, though. So, if Chelsea do sell Enzo Fernandez, it's not like we can't go in the market and buy somebody else. We'd have to go in the market to buy someone else. And this is a player that I absolutely love, Adam Wharton. This is the latest on this. Chelsea's pursuit of Crystal Palace standout midfielder Adam Wharton has intensified, but they now face strong competition from Manchester United. A bid of at least in the region of £70 million is required to prize the 21-year-old away from Selhurst Park. Adam Wharton, I think, is as close to a Busquets kind of player as you'll ever see England as a country produce. I think Adam Wharton is a sensational footballer, and if Enzo Fernandez was to leave Chelsea, I would hold my hands up and be like, when Chelsea were linked to Adam Wharton when he was at Blackburn, I remember being here on GBFC, and I was like, what are we doing being linked to a player from the Championship? Can we go and be ambitious, please, boys? Now look at me, hey? I'm here on my knees. I'm stood up making this video. I'm not on my knees at all. Adam Wharton to Chelsea, I'd absolutely love it. But right now, look, let me just make this clear. I am delighted with Enzo Fernandez. He's not had the quickest start to the season, and I choose that word on purpose because he has looked a little bit slow, but there's been moments where he's been there, he's been scoring goals again, getting assists again. More to come from Enzo, but let's see, moving forward, what happens? Because I do think one of the big players next summer is going to go. Don't like talking about it, but I just do think that's going to happen. Now let's do a little bit here on Enzo Maresca, because this is coming out of Italy right now. And again, I want to make sure that you guys know I'm very happy with Maresca. I think he's doing a great job at Chelsea right now. Juventus appreciate and rate Enzo Maresca. He is potentially an option for the future. Now, this season is a big one, okay? Because when it comes to expectations at Chelsea, when we had that bad run of form, there was a lot of stuff that came out about this season was about consolidating as a Champions League club. Get back in the Champions League. That's the goal. That's the ambition. My personal goal and ambition was to challenge for the title, which technically is very similar to finishing in the top 4, but I don't want it to be we're 4th and with 8 games to go, we mathematically can't win it. I want to be in the conversation. I want us to be able to dream of going on a run, 6, 7 wins in February, March time. Could we be involved? That's what the season I wanted to have was. But I will say, Enzo Maresca is doing a good job. I know a lot of people that don't rate him will use the win percentage and be like, oh yeah, but that's in the Conference League, whatever, that inflates it. Yeah, it does inflate it, but he won it. Like he couldn't beat Barcelona in the semis because we didn't play them. So he beat what was put in front of him. And I think with the Club World Cup as well, stocks for Maresca have gone massively high. Now say whatever you want about that competition, Chelsea flipping won it. Maresca outclassed Luis Enrique in the final. There's always going to be top clubs now in Italy that will want his signature. Juventus, you're going to have to wait, pal. So yeah, going to wrap up this Chelsea news video now. Sorry if it's been a little bit rusty. I hope you've enjoyed it, even if it was a little bit rusty. We're going to get back into the swing of things. This weekend I fly back on Friday to Dubai, so then obviously shoot out the live stream for Chelsea Forest, early kickoff too, which is going to be mega. We'll be there from the Belgian Beer Cafe. If you're in Dubai or you're going on holiday, you're going to be there this weekend. Belgian Beer Cafe, we'll be there streaming for Chelsea and Forest. Thank you guys for all of the support. I know that I've been obviously away for the past week. I hope you also appreciate me explaining that it was like a planned thing. Like, you know, we've been trying massively hard to grow the channel over the summer. We did it successfully. It was great. We went absolutely to town with transfer videos and Club World Cup. We were there for that, of course, if you know that. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Appreciate it. If you do want to get anything from the Chelsea Megastore, Christmas is coming up. You do get yourself 10% off with the discount code GBFC10. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.